When the man with the yellow hat told George he was bringing home a wondrous animal called a chameleon, George decided to surprise it with a gift.
Hi, George. That's terrific. It looks just like jade. Take a look. Yeah, Professor Wiseman and I rescued her when she lost her jungle home. She's, there. See?
Huh?
Look, she's changing color.
Ooh.
Chameleons can do that. See, she's usually green like her jungle surroundings, and that's why we named her Jade. But under the sun's rays, she got warmer, and that made her change color. Watch. Chameleons change color when the temperature changes. And sometimes when their mood changes, too. Anyway, today Jade will get a new home at the zoo. That is, if I can convince Dr. Chroma that she's the kind of rare chameleon he's been looking for.
Oh.
Yep. I've already prepared my speech. Now, I just need to pick up some posters. Hey, do you want to feed Jade while I'm gone? Oh, great. Her food's on the table. Just drop in a few pieces and she'll do the rest. Thanks, George. Bye-bye.
Jade had an amazing tongue. George wondered if he could get his tongue to work like that. George had left the cage open. And now Jade was gone. There was no way for George to get to Jade. He'd have to find a way to get Jade to come to him. Introducing Squeaky. What chameleon could resist? Nothing brought out the puppy and Hundley like a squeaky toy. The squeaks were coming from George's apartment. George hoped that Squeaky would lure Jade back to her cage. All he could do now was wait, quietly. George was worried that Hundley would scare Jade. Speaking of Jade, where'd she go? Hundley didn't know a squeaky toy could lick your nose. How was George supposed to keep track of a disappearing, color-changing chameleon? Maybe George could keep track by tracking her tracks. George thought putting paint all over the floor might be too messy. He needed something unmessy that would show Jade's footprints so George could follow them. Flour might work. It was only sort of messy. Hundley didn't know what George was up to. Whatever it wasn't clean. How was George going to see Jade's tracks if their tracks were in the way? Oddly enough, some things work better if you do them backwards. George and Hundley had to step outside for some fresh air. George's plan had worked. Jade's tracks went right out the door. They found the wagon, but Jade was gone. And now she had a million places to hide.
Hi, George. Oh, what happened here? Oh, boy. Hey, Jade. Well, I don't know where George went, but I have to get you to the zoo. I can't be late for Professor Chroma.
George knew he couldn't look everywhere for Jade. He needed a plan. In the apartment, Jade had hidden in 3 places: under the couch, on top of the lamp, and behind the radiator. They were all places George couldn't reach. They were also warm places. Maybe Jade liked to be warm. Maybe that's where George should look. The popcorn popper was warm. But Jade wasn't there. The vegetable barbecue also had heat, but it didn't have Jade. Was there a warm place that George had missed? Now all George had to do was put Jade back in her cage. The cage was gone. That meant that the man had taken Squeaky to the zoo instead of Jade.
Hey, George, what's the rush? Sounds exciting. Well, hop on.
Meanwhile, the man with the yellow hat had just finished telling the dramatic story of Jade's rescue.
And now I would like to examine Jade. If she is the rare chameleon that you say, then, and only then, can she stay.
Well, of course. Squeaky?
What was that sound?
What? The squeak? Oh, hey, let's all go to lunch, huh? I don't know about you, but I'm starving.
The chameleon, please. Show me the chameleon.
Oh, okay. George?
Let me see. Well, it's... perhaps... Yes! This is the chameleon we've been hoping for! Oh, welcome, Jade, to the zoo.
It was a perfect day for boating. Anyone with a boat, or even without, was floating on the river. George had never seen so many different boats in his life. And then he saw a boat that wasn't like any he'd ever seen before. A boat full of cars.
Oh, that's a ferry boat. It carries people in cars across the river.
George loved cars. But cars and boats together, it was the apple pie and ice cream of transportation.
Ahoy! Today's our annual model boat show. Big prizes for little boats.
George! Over here!
What do you think of her, George? Sailors call boats her. I bet a city kid like you never knew that.
Yeah. You made that, Bill?
Yes, sir.
Well, that is pretty impressive, isn't it, George?
Oh, thanks. But it's nothing compared to Mr. Quint's model whaling boat. That's it over there.
Draw the nets, laddies. Aye, aye, Cap'n.
And over there is Mrs. Rankin's Ark. And look at all those over there. It's some pretty tough competition this year.
Now, don't underestimate yourself, Bill. That is one fine-looking boat. Good luck. Oh, sure, you can stay with Bill. I'll set you up right here. Okay, I'll be over at the bleachers saving up some seats and sizing up Bill's competition.
I'd sure like to win a ribbon, George. To buy this kit, I had to save 9 weeks of money for my paper route. Oh, I almost forgot to do my paper route. Could you do me a big favor and watch my boat while I'm gone? See you soon.
George knew boat watching was serious business. There were a lot of nice boats here, but not one person had built the greatest boat. A ferry boat. Maybe he could build one. Commanding a ferry had been George's lifelong dream, ever since he first heard of them, earlier that morning. Luckily, Bill's boat looked good as new. Maybe he just put it down the wrong way.
Hey, George, how's it going? I'll be back after I deliver the rest of these papers. Thanks for taking good care of my boat.
George couldn't figure out what he'd done to it. It looked perfect. But he knew one thing.
No!
Bill couldn't enter the contest with this boat. George had to build him a new one, and fast. Unfortunately, George had no idea how to do that. First, George had to find out what boats were made of. If you've got to build a boat in a hurry, a bucket of toys is a handy thing to have. Jumpy Squirrel's new favorite thing to do was watch George sink boats. And he wasn't disappointed. It turned out metal didn't float so well, especially when it was full of holes. Plastic. Plastic might work. Just like the other toy boat. But metal cars are heavy. Even so, it was sort of floating. It was just sort of floating underwater.
Hey, George! See you soon. I'm almost done.
George had 3 great-looking boats. But just looking boaty didn't make them float. At last, George had something he knew would float. Bill wasn't going to win any contest with a tiny board. And this is what he had to work with. Maybe it was time to study boats in action. Wide boats seem to work well. Steam coming out. A propeller. And a good solid bottom. Okay, a wide boat with steam coming out and a propeller.
All done. I'm just gonna drop my bike at home. Would you mind watching my boat for a few more minutes?
Phew.
Newspaper delivery is an exact business. People expect it at the same time every day. Thanks for watching my boat. Where is my boat? George! You built this yourself? Wow. I thought city kids just bought everything. Where'd you say my boat was? Holy cow! You did me a real favor, George. I forgot to close the windows. Thanks for showing me. I would have really been sunk if it happened in the contest. Model boating requires utmost attention to tiny details. And keeping the water out. Come on, let's go enter. Hey, you gotta bring your boat to enter it. Sure. Who else has a boat like that?
Let's hear it for our winners!
Congratulations, George. I didn't even know you built a boat.
I convinced him to enter it. And did you see this? It says best boat by a monkey. That's funny. They must have run out of regular ribbons. I'll take care of this. I'll ask him to make you one that says best boat by a city kid.
On their way home from the circus, the monkey with the yellow balloon and the man with the yellow hat noticed that Professor Wiseman's light was still on.
Don't tell me you're still working, Professor.
Of course, it's only 9 o'clock.
What's this? A foot race?
Mm-hmm. We're trying to raise money for an expedition to the lost city of Omam.
Great cause. I'll sign up for that. Hey, you want to help me train, George? Great. What about you, Professor? Are you going to run?
Me? Oh, I can't run. I've got way too much work.
Poor Professor Wiseman. She doesn't know what she's missing.
The next day, George couldn't wait to start training.
Hey! Wait up!
Stop! I need help!
This was strange. The professor who said she couldn't run was running.
Terrible, absolute disaster!
What, did the T-Rex collapse?
Oh, worse. Anonymous donors. They won't contribute to the expedition unless I run the race.
Oh, but that's great. Races are a lot of fun.
Can you help me train? I don't know a thing about running.
No problem. Let's meet in the park at lunchtime tomorrow.
Terrific! Can't wait.
No, Sharky, look out! Oh, boy.
What? He sprained his ankle? How can I train for the race without him? You want to be my personal trainer? Okay. Well, let's get running. Hey, wait for me!
George thought that to be a trainer, all he had to do was run, and Professor Wiseman would follow. Simple.
George, wait up!
Maybe not so simple.
Oh, I'm so thirsty. Do you have any water? Okay, that's it. I'm done. Sorry, George. I'm too tired to run anymore. We can try again tomorrow.
George's first day as a trainer had not gone well.
Hi, George. Professor Wiseman called. She said you tried to help her train for the race. Well, don't give up. I think it's a great idea. And I found something that might help. It's an old training video I used to watch called Run for Your Life.
You! Yeah, you. Are you ready to run like you mean it?
You might want to take notes.
Tip number 1. Before you hit the road, you gotta get graceful. You gotta stretch those muscles.
When George met Professor Wiseman in the park the next day, he wanted to be ready.
Stretching does feel good. Okay, what's next, George? Ooh. Time to run? Oh, but not too fast, right? All right, then. Let's go. Whew, I'm getting thirsty. Thanks. Much better.
So far, Professor Wiseman's training was going great. And then, not so great.
I don't think running is for me, George. I find it, well, boring. I'd much rather be carbon dating a stromatolite.
The training coach didn't say anything about boring.
The problem is, I don't have time to be bored. I should get back to the museum. Thanks for trying, George.
George couldn't understand why she didn't like to run. Running can be so much fun. Make running fun. It just might work.
Wait, you want to show me something, George? Okay, let's go. Oh, is this a Ferris wheel? Okay. I've never been on one of these before. What an amazing view! Hey, look! There's the museum. I can see my window. It looks so small from here.
The professor had so much fun on the Ferris wheel that George took her to all his favorite places. The day the professor outran him, George knew she was ready for the race.
Oh, I never knew running would make me feel this good. I have so much energy now. Thank you, George. For the Ferris wheel, for the balloons, for teaching me that running is fun.
Good evening, Professor.
Oh, hi, everyone. I'm running in that race tomorrow. Will you be there?
We wouldn't miss it for the world.
On race day, George couldn't believe how many people showed up.
Okay, I'm ready. Oh, no! I forgot my water. Oh, thanks. So, you really think I can do this?
Go, Professor Wiseman! Go, Professor Wiseman! Sis boom ba! Sis boom ba!
Runners, take your marks.
The race was on. The professor seemed to be doing everything right. She ran at a steady pace. And there she was drinking water. So far, so good. George wanted to see the professor cross the finish line, so he made sure to get a good spot.
Do you see her? I don't see her. She looks tired. Oh no, something's wrong. Maybe she got a Charlie horse.
Huh?
That's a cramp in your leg, George, and they can be very painful.
Ooh. Hi there. I thought it'd be fun if my personal trainer finished the race with me.
Huh?
I did it! I actually ran a race. I got a medal for finishing, and the race was a huge success. We raised enough money for our trip to Oman.
Oh, that's terrific.
And I found out who those anonymous donors were. Apparently, they thought I needed to work a little less and have fun a little more.
That's right, because all work and no play
is a crummy way to spend your day.
To thank you for helping me learn that lesson, I want you to have my medal.
To George, it was a perfect morning, eating and reading and having nothing better to do. But there was one thing he was supposed to do.
George, didn't you promise to clean up this room yesterday? You can't leave toys lying around. Someone could get hurt. No! Whew. Lucky for me, this wall was here. Now, please, clean up, George. When I come home from work, we'll spend the evening in our nice, clean living room, okay?
Rolling on the car looked fun, except for the slamming into the wall part. If one car was fun, imagine what you could do with two. George had to show his great new car shoes to someone. George couldn't wait to see the look on Hundley's face. That wasn't the look he expected. Hundley didn't want monkey handprints all over the clean doors. George didn't know how to turn around and go back.
I don't know. We have too many roller skates. Now, what can we do to make people more interested in skates?
Well, how about having a roller skating monkey give demonstrations?
And just where are we gonna find a roller skating monkey? The skates are our gift to you. You just skate in front of the store whenever you can.
You'd better give him another pair, hon. He's got 4 feet.
Well, I thought he had 4 hands, but fine, 2 pairs it is. Okay, let's see what you can do.
Maybe he should practice outside.
Yeah, gotcha.
Now you practice, little mister, then come back.
Okay. You ever think we'll see him again?
If you can't trust a monkey, who can you trust?
George liked his new skates. But what were these black things for? George thought that even Hundley would have to admire his skates, especially since now he knew how to stop.
Huh? Let me help you with those. Hundley, you're in charge.
A monkey on wheels looked wrong, but a proud, sleek dachshund on nice wheels. George knew exactly what Hundley wanted to do.
Check out the cool wiener dog on roller skates.
It occurred to George that perhaps he should have shown Hundley how to stop. The only thing in the world Hundley wanted was to stop rolling. Now the only thing in the world he wanted was for these nice girls to take the wheel shoes off him. But unfortunately, the girls didn't speak Dachshund.
I think he's sad because we messed up his ride. Don't worry, doggy. We'll get you rolling again. Ready? 1, 2, 3!
George thought he recognized that tail racing toward him. But it couldn't be Hundley. Hundley would never go that fast. How many roller skating wiener dogs could there be in the city? It was over. Hundley was sorry he tried these wheel shoes on and never wanted to see them again.
A dog on skates? What a talented little guy you must be. And so handsome.
Then again, he did look good on those wheel shoes, With a little practice, he could be the talk of the town.
Good dog.
Hunley could think of nothing worse than skating down the sidewalk, out of control, with a cat on his back. Until...
Whoa! That cat's skateboard is, like, made of dog.
Gnocchi realized that when the boy leaned, he could steer. So maybe she should try it.
George thought he recognized that flying dog. But it couldn't be Hunley. Hunley wouldn't fly. Then again, how many skating, flying wiener dog and cat teams could there be in the city? George thought this was a good time to show Hunley how to stop. No matter what George did, they kept going faster and faster. He couldn't imagine how they were ever going to stop. Then he could.
Hunley, I've been worried. Where have you... You are a muddy mess.
Oh, looks like he's not the only one.
We can't have the tenants see us like this, Hunley. I'll get a towel and get you cleaned up, boy.
Time for you to clean up too, George. Hey, wait a minute. George?
Hunley was sure if that monkey and cat hadn't been around, he could have learned to skate.
Say, weren't there 2 pairs of skates? Must have been my imagination.
It was morning in the country, and George was eager to get outside.
It's just a little rain. I'll get you an umbrella. I know. Let's check the attic. Aha! I knew I had an umbrella.
George thought the cart was wonderful. It would be perfect for carrying stuff.
Huh. I really should get rid of some of this. You want that? Oh, sure. first yellow hat. Now that's a keeper.
George loved his new cart. Now all he needed was something to put in it. It was too small for a cow. It could hold a ton of coconuts, but there were no coconut trees around. That's what George could put in it. Interesting sticks. By the time George got out of the woods, he had quite a collection.
Hiya, George. Hey, you want to try some delicious made out of apples that I picked myself apple cider? Do you want a whole bottle? That'll be $3.50, please.
Why don't you and Allie make a trade? That's what we used to do when we were kids.
Yeah. I like it, but I don't want to trade for a stick. I like the cart, though.
George wasn't sure he wanted to give up his new cart. But then again, that cider was delicious.
Now just remember, kids, once you make a trade, it's for keeps.
We know. Hey, and it squeaks, too. Here you go, George.
By the next morning, George had finished all the cider and was missing his cart. There were so many fun things he could be doing.
No!
Like playing hide and seek. Or carrying a pet fish around. But the cart was gone. Unless he could trade it back for something. Something Allie would like.
Can't have too many coat hooks. Keep. Sauerkraut? Oh, sure, whatever you need. Sacco, oh, I haven't seen you in years. Keep.
You want me to trade the cart for a jar of sauerkraut? No, I'd rather have the cart. I'm kind of using it.
Maybe there's something else George has that you'd like.
Hey, yeah. Do you have a pony? Too bad. I always wanted a purple pony with pink hair that you can brush with a regular brush.
George was in luck. He had seen a pony just like that over at Vicky's house.
You want to trade a jar of sauerkraut for my pony? No, thanks. That's funny, but I don't want a stick that looks like a hat either. I wouldn't trade this pony for anything. Except maybe a dollhouse.
George didn't have a dollhouse. Allie had a dollhouse, though. If George could trade something for the dollhouse, then he could trade the dollhouse for the pony and trade the pony for the cart. It all made George's head spin.
Ahoy there, George. Could you hand me that hammer? Well, nothing like building something with your own two hands, I always say.
building something. That gave George an idea.
You want to trade a jar of sauerkraut for a crate? You got yourself a deal. I do love sauerkraut.
Did you make that? Wow! I love it! Wait right here. Here you go, George.
George couldn't wait to get his cart back.
Hey, George! Like my cart? Allie traded it to me for an old backpack. You want to trade that pony for the cart? No thanks. I need this to help me carry stuff to the swap meet. A swap meet is where lots of people gather in a big space and trade stuff. You should come, it's fun. Who knows? You might find something I would swap the cart for.
Annual swap meet tomorrow only. One person's junk is another person's treasure. Oh, this is great, George. I'll bring all the stuff I want to get rid of. Oh, no, that's the keep pile. That's the get rid of pile. Of course. You never know when you might need a sombrero.
The next day, George hoped that between his sticks and the man's stuff, they'd have something that Bill would trade for.
Got it. Need it. No. I like her sombrero, though.
You want to trade the sombrero? Sure.
You want the cart? It's a deal. Oh, wait. I just traded it to Mr. Quint.
Don't worry. Maybe you can make a trade with Mr. Quint.
Well, that's a dandy fishing reel, but unfortunately, I just swapped the cart with my brother for this singing whale.
49 tons of krill on the wall, 49 tons of krill.
George found Mr. Quint's brother, Flint, but Flint had traded the cart to his other brother, Wint, for a back massager. Wint had traded the cart to Mrs. Rankins for some soap on a rope. And Mrs. Rankins had traded the cart to Vicky.
Sorry, George. I just traded the cart to some people from the city.
George had worked so hard to get that cart back, and now it was gone for good.
There's nothing here that I want. See, I'm an artist. I work with wood, and what I'm looking for are unusual sticks. Well, these are the best sticks I've ever seen. Thank you.
At last, George had a cart. Of course, he no longer had anything to put in it, but that wouldn't last long. Even a little monkey knows when it's the hottest day of summer. It's when birds walk in shadows. dogs leave their tongues out all day. And men with hats use them as fans.
We've been listening to some cool sounds. You know, Monday was the hottest day in 5 years. Well, today's gonna even be hotter.
Too hot for the park, huh? Sun's so strong today, the air conditioner needs a helping hat.
Another sign of hot weather? Blackouts.
When too many air conditioners run at once, they can cause the power to shut down. I should call the electric company so they know we have no power. Oh, I forgot to put the phone in its battery charger again. Where did I leave it now? The battery's not charged. We're due at the museum. We can call from there. Oh, good thing the power came back on. We almost forgot to turn everything off before we left. George? Huh. Oh, no. Another blackout?
Nope. Watch this. Are we ready, Dr. Levitt?
Ready?
I wanted you to be the first to see.
To see that the lights work?
You just witnessed the first test of the solar panels I installed to power the museum.
We're unveiling them at a party tonight. We're a solar museum.
Wow.
Usually, electricity is made far away and sent in on wires, but now the museum makes its own power.
Solar panels turn the sun's rays into electricity, which is then stored in these batteries.
It's Dr. Levitt's birthday. During the party for the solar panels, I'd like to give her a surprise.
Oh, I could make one of my famous birthday lasagnas.
Precisely what I was thinking.
These batteries are a lot like the ones in toys, flashlights, or cordless phones. And they get all their power from the sun.
George never knew the sun could charge batteries.
I'm gonna be busy with my lasagna, so I can't play now, okay?
A remote control spaceship is the perfect hot weather toy. Until the batteries run out. George didn't want to bother the man with the yellow hat in mid-lasagna. But he needed batteries. Then he remembered how the museum batteries got power from the sun. So why not let the sun charge up his batteries too? There was something else with batteries that needed charging.
There we go. Oh, Professor Wiseman didn't say what time to bring this. I'd better call her. George, have you seen the phone? It's outside. It should be on its charger. Oh no, battery's still dead. You wanted the sun to charge it? Well, that's not how solar power works, George. But the sun can make things hot, especially when it reflects off something shiny. Since the phone won't work, can you take a note to Professor Wiseman for me?
Back again, George? In this heat? Ah, tell him to get his lasagna over here at 5. Here, I'll write it down. Oh, those are solar panels. They convert the sun's rays to electric power, remember?
George forgot about solar panels. That's why the phone didn't charge.
Right! Batteries store the energy the solar panels create, so we have it when we want it, even at night. Hey, want to ride home in a solar car?
I didn't even hear that car drive up.
That's because solar-powered engines are quiet. Bye.
Thanks, George. 5 o'clock. If I put it in the oven right now, it'll be ready in plenty of time. Hey, while it cooks, we have time to play. Oh, another blackout. George, the oven's electric. My lasagna won't cook. I'd better warn Professor Wiseman we may be late. Or worse, lasagna-less. Where did I leave it now? There's no way on earth to cook without power. George, that reflected sun is hot. That reflected sun is hot! George, you may be a genius! A pizza box keeps pizza warm, so it'll hold the heat. A hole to let the sun in. Glue on some plastic wrap to keep the heat from getting out again. And shiny aluminum foil to direct the sun's heat into the box. Fantastic! Angle it so the sun hits the lasagna. If the power comes back on, we can put it in the oven. But if it doesn't, I think it'll cook.
Hours later, guests arrived at the museum, which was the only building in the whole city with electricity.
How do you have lights and air conditioning? The whole city is without electricity.
The museum is now solar-powered. Blackouts can't affect us.
I'm sorry. Our power has been out all afternoon. I couldn't make dessert.
I know. Poor Dr. Levitt won't have her favorite birthday things. Excuse me, Chef. Monkey finger. It's hot. It's cooked?
We made a solar cooker. Thank George. And the sun.
Oh, thank you. Nothing could make this birthday more special than a solar lasagna.
That was nice of you to teach him to drive the solar car.
I thought you taught him.
George! 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 Come back with that expensive piece of car!